Now we're going to get to the spooky yet, I don't know, exciting part.
The nasties. We're doing the nasties.
All the things that can happen that are just way out there. And So we're going to have a look at the Mythos part, how Mythos affects the game and how you do everything.
What you can do and what consequences there are for doing it.
So at the start of each turn, I know you're laughing because we know what's coming.
It's hilarious.
All right. So at the start of each turn, you get all your characters that are still going on your side, and you look at their myth stat.
They had a myth stat, which we went through before,
and that you add it all up, and it creates a pool.
Makes a pool of little tokens, points that you can spend.
Yeah. I always recommend that you have like a D12 or a D whatever, so add it up, the total you got, and have a dice. That's usually the way to go. It's
grab
easier.
some spooky glass beads with like little spiders in them or something.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but you've got to have a way of representing your Mythos pool.
That's it. All right, so at the start you get all those together, and then during each character's activation, they can choose to access from that pool of Mythos to boost their attacks and do all the other things we were talking about. Yeah.
So the Mythos effect on any attack, if you actually deal damage, if you win that test, then you can spend 1 myth point to activate the Mythos effect at the end of it. You can also use myth to help you focus on tests and things like that. Except for sanity tests, which we're going to go into in a minute, you can, as a part of any attack, defense, or test, except for sanity, you can use a myth point to gain a +2 to your dice roll. Must be declared before the dice are rolled and can be added only once to each roll. But it is a +2,
and that's a new thing as well.
Yeah, that didn't happen before. That I think someone had an ability like that though. I'm sure I remember seeing someone with an ability, one of those myth abilities that says
could focus.
If you spend 1 myth, you can add +2 to something or something like that. So
but I think moving it to everybody is good because even though you and I, we played some games, we always seem to have myth left over, and we did a lot of stuff.
Well, I was scared to use mine, so that was why. But I mean, you were using yours fairly regular, and you still usually had some left over.
Yeah. So having something like this to encourage people to risk it is quite interesting. Yeah. All right. So Mythos abilities. Using these abilities does not take action points, but they do have an associated myth cost required to activate them. So if you look on your character card, there'll be the ones in the blue. There'll be a number next to it.
Yeah.
That's what you pay. And then most of them are 1, but there are some more expensive ones.
Yeah.
Now it's important to know that if you do a myth ability that costs more than 1, and say it costs 2, but you're 1 away from flipping, all right, and you fail that test, so you spent 2, you've gained 2 madness.
Yeah.
Right. So that takes you to your limit. Your card is then flipped over to the altered side. And any extra that was required above your limit, it stays with you.
Yeah.
So your big abilities, if you're right on the edge and you risk doing that, it can be bad for you.
It can be really bad.
It can remove you from the table, from the gaming table a lot quicker because it will stay there. So keep that in mind.